In the African American community, we got a saying, very popular saying, go way back to our ancestors. It's called "I wish a nigga would." And we all know universally what that means when we hear parents or moms, dads, aunts, uncles say, "I wish a nigga would." What that means is, I wish you would butt in front of me at the grocery store. I wish you would try to cut in line at Burger King or McDonald's drive-thru. I wish you would try to comment on the way I discipline my kids in public. I wish you would. And what that really means is, what's going to follow that wish I would is I'm going to get into a verbal or a physical altercation with you. See, that's a negative affirmation being put out there because, see, as African Americans, we put out that negative affirmation of, look, I want this conflict. I want all the smoke. I want all the beef. I want all the issues. And I'm walking out the house. I'm going into the grocery store. I'm pulling up into drive-thru talking about, yo, I wish somebody would. I want the smoke. Because some people wake up feeling evil. But we ain't talking about affirmations right now. We ain't talking about the evilness that you're feeling. We're talking about something different. Because, see, we're going to change "I wish a nigga would" because, see, that's not really politically correct, is it? It's not politically correct. So let's change it to this, to something we all use. Keep that same energy. Because, see, with somebody up there posting you on Facebook talking slick, with somebody on Instagram talking crazy, somebody tweeting you talking crazy, what you tell them? Keep that same energy when I see you in public. When I see you in person, keep that same energy, because you know how people talk smack on social media. Then when you see them, it's a whole different situation. Like, well, see, what had happened was, no. Don't explain nothing. Keep that same energy. You say you was going to smack the taste out of my mouth. Keep that same energy. That's how you truly feel. People talk crazy through text message. You tell them, yo, keep that same energy through text messages. When people call you on the phone, you know people always tough on the phone. You tell them, yo, no. Keep the same energy when we go to work on Monday, and I see you in the parking lot before work starts. Don't run to the boss. Keep that same energy. But we're not here to talk about fighting and conflict right now. We're talking about keep that same energy in a different form. Because, see, in different parts of our lives, we need to keep that same energy. We don't keep that same energy. We like to say keep that same energy. We like to say keep it 100. But the truth is, we ain't keeping it 100. And we ain't keeping that same energy when we're dealing with real life events. Things that not only affect us, but affect people we love. So let's talk about it, people. Let's talk about how we don't keep that same energy and our need to keep that same energy. We sit here and we got all upset, got all riled up, me included, when Ahmaud Arbery was killed while jogging. When Breonna Taylor got killed in her own apartment. When Trayvon Martin got killed when all he had was an iced tea and some Skittles. When we watched that video of George Floyd laying there with a cop knee on his neck. We marched down the street. We protested. Some of us looted and rioted. And we ain't supporting that. But the point is, we came out in droves and we responded to something we didn't like because we feared for not only ourselves, but for our nieces, our nephews, our brothers, our sisters, our daughters, our sons, our mothers, our fathers. We fear for their lives and we feel like it's enough is enough. We need to speak up. But here's the question I got for you. Where's the same energy when we're killing each other? We got to keep the same energy when we killing each other. It's saying about, no, don't say Black lives only matter when police kill. No, Black lives matter when we killing each other. But here's the point. We need to keep that same energy. We need to protest against gun violence in our own community. We need to protest against poverty, the lack of education in our schools, these issues with curriculum they're teaching in schools. We need to keep that same energy and protest for more than just cops killing us, but our communities killing us. There are politicians killing us. Our school systems killing our children's future. We need to keep that same energy when we deal with all these other issues that face us on a daily basis. These invisible guns, these invisible bullets. We got to keep that same energy. When we sitting here living next door to a liquor store, when you go into a good neighborhood, they don't got liquor stores. They got wine and spirit stores. What's the difference between a wine and spirit store and a liquor store? I don't know. You know, wine and spirit sound like you're going to church. And you know, you ready to do communion. What is it, communion? You ready to do communion at the door in the liquor store. No, we need to keep that same energy to fight towards that. Keep that same energy when we fighting for our children's future. When they try to give them ADHD medicine. When they sitting there trying to put them in small classrooms because, oh, they got a learning disability. No. We need to keep that same energy when we fighting for our children's lives. When we got to sit here and our neighbor son is trying to kill our son, we need to keep that same energy to protect our children before they're lying on a stretcher, before they're lying in a casket. We need to keep that same energy. We need to keep that same energy and march and protest for better neighborhoods, better protest for better food, for better quality of living, for better education. We need to march and protest. Keep that same energy, people. You talk about keep it 100, keep it 100. How many of y'all truly up there speaking out? about these subjects? How many of y'all standing up for this? How many people truly care about this? We need to keep that same energy when we're sitting there watching our communities get getting torn down. When we keep settling for politicians lying to us, but then asking for a vote, we need to keep that same energy. But there's more to it we need to do, people. It's more to it. Because, see, a lot of y'all listen to Lifetime. And listen, my wife lied to you, okay? She said I watched Lifetime with her. She's lying, okay? I'm serious, y'all. People, listen to me. She's lying to y'all. All right, so I did watch it a couple times. But, I didn't know it was Lifetime. It looked like it was an interesting movie. And, when I found out it was Lifetime, I did walk out the room. I protest her watching Lifetime. And, I said we shouldn't be doing that because, see, I was trying to predict what was going to happen in the movie. But, see, what had happened was I didn't know it was Lifetime. So you got to believe me, people. I didn't know. Point is, we got to keep the same energy as when we watching Lifetime. Us as men, you as women. Because, see, women, let me tell you what y'all do, all right? Let me tell you what y'all do. Women love to do this. Y'all sit there and watch other people's relationships, especially celebrity relationships, and you always talking about what you wouldn't do. You always talk about what you wouldn't do in your relationship. You hear Lemonade and hear about Beyonce making a whole album about Jay-Z cheating on her. I wouldn't took him back. Nope, I wouldn't did it. You sit there talking, you watching Lifetime talking about, man, you stupid. You know that dude right there. You know he was a killer. I wouldn't have dated him. You know he was cheating with your sister. I wouldn't even stood up for that. But you sitting in a relationship right now and you dealing with the same stuff you saying you wouldn't deal with. You sitting there dealing with the same issues that you're dealing with Lifetime. Okay, maybe you didn't kill nobody yet. You didn't snap yet. Okay, you didn't do that yet. But you on the border of going Lifetime on a couple dudes. I see some of y'all looking in your eyes like right now. Y'all turning your head and everything. Man, look, I got a knife under my pillow. I'm just waiting for this dude to go to sleep. I'm just waiting for him to start snoring. And you're going to do your dirt. But the point is, when you sit there and you address it and you love to comment on other people's relationships, you love to tell somebody what they need to do, especially these single women out here, love to tell these married women how to live their life. So here's my thing. When you get married, keep that same energy. The same advice you sitting there giving her, you feeding her, keep that same energy and feed yourself that same advice, that same food. That same stuff you sitting there hollering at the TV when you watching Lifetime talking, no girl, you shouldn't deal with that. You shouldn't deal with all that. When you sitting there listening to Beyonce's album talking about, well, you shouldn't deal with cheating and all that. Keep that same energy in your relationship. Keep that same energy and don't allow that man to keep disrespecting you. Keep cheating on you. Don't let him keep cheating you out your time. Don't let him push you to a point where you ready to put a knife under the pillow and you watch it snap. Keep that same energy when Lifetime doesn't start to mimic your life. Other people's albums start mimicking your life, where you start to put more of your energy, more of your time, more of your comments in somebody else's relationship while yours is slowly deteriorating. Keep the same energy you got when you're giving other people advice on their relationships. Keep that same energy when you're telling somebody don't settle for cheating as you got in your relationship. Keep that same energy. Because you don't know. We all like to watch movies and talk about what we do, especially dudes. Listen, dudes love to sit here and talk about what they won't do. They sit here and watch movies, man, he wouldn't beat me up like that. Man, shoot, that nigga wouldn't have got in my house like that. He wouldn't have kicked my door down. He wouldn't have did this and that. He wouldn't have slapped my wife like that. Then they be the same dudes. When a dude disrespect their wife at the darn movie theater, man, you turn your head. I ain't see it happen. He smacked you? Let me help you up. You all right, man? You made you drop your popcorn. Let me help you pick your popcorn up. But you be talking cash stuff, you be talking cash stuff about what you gonna do, but you be sitting there, let me help you pick your popcorn up. He's something else. I thought he bumped into you. I didn't know he punched you. I thought, man, he's something else. You be the same dude sitting there talking about that. You the same dude trying to raise somebody else's kids. Trying to take care of somebody else's kids. Trying to buy somebody else's kids some new Jordan, them new foam posits. But when it's your kid, you ain't keeping that same energy. Your baby mom trying to track you down right now to get your kids some sneakers. To get them some school clothes, spend some time with them, teach them how to shoot basketball. Keep that same energy you got when you talking and trying to take care of somebody's kid. You talking about when you get relationship goals and when you get a good woman, how you gonna treat her. And we all guilty of this. Listen, we all guilty of this. Men, women, we all guilty of this. Y'all see these relationships, especially when you're single, and you see people in relationships, you be like, yo, man, when I get a good woman, woman's really down for me, man. I'm gonna really, be there for her. I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna do all this. I'm gonna do all good things. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna rub her feet, man. Run her bath with her, man. Cook her dinner, candle lights, date night. I'm a spoiler. Dudes, we be telling all this. We sitting around friends with their gas and everybody. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best man ever. Women. Here go women though. Women, when they around their friends, yo, when I finally meet my husband, they be posting this on Facebook and everything. When I finally meet my husband, watch, I'm gonna be submissive. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna let him be a leader. I'm gonna let him be the man. I'm gonna make him feel like a man, make him feel respected. Yo, I'm gonna do all these good things. You know what I'm saying? When he gets off work from working a hard day, I'm gonna rub his feet, make sure his bath water is ran. I'm gonna make sure his food is cooked. I'm gonna just take care of it, make sure the house is clean. Like, yo, you be on it, talking cash stuff. But when you get into a relationship, see what happened was, man, listen, I dated like 10 dudes before, you know, they was cheating on me, stealing in my purse, you know, they didn't want to work, they was watching ESPN, and you bringing baggage from those last relationships, those last 10 relationships into your current situation. You got these dudes that's talking all this stuff of what they're gonna do when they find a good woman. They get a good woman, and you treating her like the chick that wasn't really for you. She was somebody else's woman. You treating her like somebody else's chick, like the chick that, you know what I mean, you was just calling when you want a booty call. You treating her with that same energy that change respect. My point is this: the same energy you talking about before you get that good woman, before you get that good man, keep that same energy. That same energy you put into texting and talking to your boys and putting memes on Facebook and gifs on Facebook about what you gonna do when you get a good woman or a good man, the relationship goes. Keep that same energy when you get into a relationship. Stop carrying negative energy from the past relationship into your current relationship. Keep that same energy when you get into your new relationship. But we got so much more to talk about, don't we? What about when we say we're going to start our own business? Somebody put this up as a meme. And I don't remember exactly who it was. I would love to give you credit. My apologies if I don't remember. You know, people put a lot of memes and gifs up. But somebody said this. They said, you know, they put up a meme and said, you know, when you say you got a new job, and we all hear this. We all experience this. So listen to this. Check this out. We all experience this. You get on Facebook. You get on Instagram. You get on Twitter. Yo, I got the new job. You get like 75 likes, 12 hearts. Congratulations, you get the care sign and all that, you know, where they hugging the heart and all that. People comment, congratulations on a new job, congratulations on a new job. Everybody congratulating you on getting a new job. That same person, a year from now, puts up another post. This time, yo, I finally was able to start my own business. How many likes you get? You get 1 like, and that was your mom. Your mom don't even heart. You start your own business. She give you a like. Because, you know, when you give the heart, you got to hold the button a little longer, then you got to move over to the heart and then click on the heart. Nah, she just give you a straight like. You get a comment from some dude that was trying to get in your DMs that you don't know who it is, talking about, yo, congratulations, queen. Yo, that's all you get. Dudes, you probably only get a like from your mom. You probably only get a like from your dad. You don't get no likes, you know what I mean? You get crickets when you start talking about your own business. But then I'm saying people talking to you, talking about, yo, you should start your own business. You should be an entrepreneur. You should stop being a slave to these companies. Keep that same energy you got when you telling me you got to be a slave to a company. Keep that same energy when you telling me, congratulations for getting a job, and congratulate me when I start my own business. Keep that same energy and support me. Support my business. If I'm starting a t-shirt business, support that t-shirt business. Keep that same energy you keep and just going to Cowtown, Farmers Market, all these other places and buying these cheap, oversized or undersized t-shirts that somebody made in their garage as you're doing your own people. A person you know. Keep that same energy supporting that person. Keep that same energy supporting that person who wants to start their own real estate business. Keep that same energy as you would with Patterson and Schwartz, with 21st Century, with all these other companies, that real estate companies. Okay, so my real estate company might not be as big, but keep that same energy and supporting me, because I'm going to keep that same energy that they giving you. I'm going to give you that same energy. Keep that same energy when somebody wants to sell sunglasses, when someone wants to sell clothes, if they want to sell water. Keep that same energy when you go on 7-Eleven and you pay $1.49, $2 for that same bottle of water that they only charge you $1 for. Keep that same energy and supporting your people, supporting the people around you, supporting the people that love you. Keep their heads held. I know they're not Amazon yet. They're not Disney yet. I know they're not Apple yet. I believe me. I know they're not Google. But you got to remember, all those companies started somewhere. Tyler Perry started somewhere. Before he became Tyler Perry, having all these shows, creating Tyler Perry Studio, Tyler Perry just had a simple play that he had a hard time paying for, using his tax money to pay for, using his income taxes to pay for. He had to start somewhere. So keep that same energy, and I'm going to keep that same energy giving back. I'm going to reciprocate that same energy back to you when I make it big. I remember the people who loved me and liked me when all I had was a camera sitting in the room alone recording a show, recording an episode, recording a movie. I'm going to keep that same energy in you, and I'm going to remember you when I make it. You got to keep that same energy, people. We got to keep that same energy when we go to a kid's school. And we all did this as parents. We go to school and our kids be acting up, showing off and stuff. And we go in there, we argue with the teachers, and we argue with the principals and stuff. And we be having our issue with them. And of course we should. We advocates for our kids. We're our biggest advocate. We're our biggest supporter of our kids. We are the protector of our kids. And we should protect and support our kids. But we got to keep it that same energy when our kids is dead wrong. We got to keep that same energy disciplining our kids. We got to keep that same energy when it comes to our kids' school. Making sure they're getting a proper, adequate education. Make sure curriculum is truly supporting them, not just while they're in school, but when they leave school. We need to keep that same energy and making sure that they're getting everything they need. They know about credit. They know about the importance of credit. They know about credit cards, debit cards, saving money, investing their money. We need to keep that same energy into making sure our schools truly support our children. Not there to just beat them down, belittle them, teach them how to take a test. And I don't even understand that. What do you teach the kid to take a test for? Let me ask you a question. All my adults out there right now, my working adults, whether you work at Burger King or you work at Fortune 500 company, let me ask you a simple question, okay? 2 questions. 1, how many tests do your job ask you to take on a daily basis? When you at Burger King, you working at the register, do they stop you in the middle of your shift? Like, stop, put that $1.50 down, stop taking that person's order. I want you to come to the back and I want you to take a test. I want you to take a history test, then I want you to take an English test, I want you to write an essay, then I want you to take a math test. How many times do they test you? All my people working in Fortune 500 companies, you got your suit and tie on, you got your suitcase, your bag lunch, you go in, do your 9 to 5 every single day. How many times did your boss stop you, call you in the office, and tell you to hand in a paper in APA style? How many times they do it, people? We got to wonder what's going on with the curriculum and how they're teaching our kids and what they teach you. What are you preparing you for? Or any of these curriculums that's taught in school, college, teaching you how to own your own business? Teaching you a true skill that you can take on your own and not just be utilized for somebody else's advantage? You got to keep that same energy, people, as you do sitting there going to work, making somebody else millions. Keep that same energy when it comes time for you to make millions for yourself. Keep that same energy when you got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning to make it at work at 9 o'clock because you got to get up 5 o'clock because you're not a morning person. It takes you a long time. You know what I mean? You got to get your coffee in you, take a shower because you didn't take your clothes out the night before. You didn't pack your lunch. I know you didn't. Don't act like I'm turn your head. You know who I'm talking about. You didn't do it. So you got to spend extra time doing that. Keep that same energy when you have your own company. When you're making yourself millions, when you try to build your own empire, keep that same energy you put into that job, that same commitment, that same dedication, that same submission that you do. The income-driven outcome will be the same if you keep the energy the same. Keep that same energy you're putting into that company, into your own life. Keep that same energy that you're putting into arguing for your kids, or fighting for your kids to have a true education, that the curriculum that they're teaching at schools supports your kids in the best ways possible. Keep that same energy, people. I know we always talk about wishing I wish a person would, say something to me and discipline my kids in public. When I'm disciplining my kids in public, I wish somebody would. I wish you would tell me about disciplining my kids in public. You don't know what the conversation I had with my kids. Because us as parents, what do we do? And I know we talked about this before. But we got to revisit this for the sake of the argument, all right? What do we always say to our kids before we go in the grocery store? Before we go in any store, what do we say to our kids? It's a universal conversation, no matter whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, whatever you are, we all have this same conversation with our kids before we go into a store. Don't ask for nothing, okay? Don't come in here and ask for nothing. We all tell our kids that. All have that conversation before we get out of the car. Then we have the second conversation when we get into the parking lot. Then we have the next conversation before we walk in the store. We stop right in front of the doors of the store, the ones that open up, the doors open up by themselves. We had that conversation again, like, yo, let me remind you for the 3rd time. Now I told you 3 times. Don't ask for nothing in this store. And you probably thinking, well, that's only when you go to the grocery store. No, it don't matter what store you go to. You go to a sneaker store, you go to a grocery store, you go to a clothing store. Yeah, you go to a store that only sells fabric and arts and craft material. It don't matter what store you go into. Your kids is going to find something in there that they want. They don't need it, don't really want it, just for the sake of asking for it, just for piss you off, they're going to ask you for something. And they get amnesia to the fact that you told them no 3 times and told them 3 times, do not ask me for nothing. Then they get in the store, you get everything you're going, your grocery store, you got your budget, you get to the cash register, you got everything you got, I just got enough money for this, or I only budget for this, I'm not trying to go over. And, if you spend 10 cents more, you're going over budget. Okay, you got to stick to that. The kid gets to the line, they got to ask for this candy. You just got to have the candy, because every single store got to put the candy at the doing cash register. It's a setup. It's a setup, people. They know what they're doing. They know kids are going to want that goddamn candy. So they always put the candy at the cash register, because they know them kids are going to see that blow pop. They're going to see that the sweet tarts and the candy bars and the gum and all that, and they're going to want it. Okay, they got to have that sugar in them. And you tell them no. You tell your kid no. We all do. We all do, because we already had the conversation. We tell them no. And some of our kids look at this as an opportunity to act out and show off, because they figure, you know what? You ain't going to discipline me in front of somebody. You ain't going to whoop my behind in front of these people. I see some of y'all right there looking like, shit, you don't know me well. My kids know. I give them that look. They gonna get behind whoop in front of anybody. So I'm going to speak to those right there, right now, who shout out to all these parents right now who saying, yo, my kids already know I'm going to whoop their behind in front of anybody. I'm talking specifically to you when I'm ready to say this to you, all right? All right, so you beat the kids and you get them on their behind in front of everybody, and you have that attitude, then you give them that look like, I wish you would say something. I wish you would say something. Because you want somebody to address you and tell you that you shouldn't be beating your kids. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't yell at your kid like that. You shouldn't whoop your kid. You waiting for somebody to say that, because they're going to become the next victim. All your energy is going to turn from your children to them, because they should have kept their mouth shut. They should have minded their business. They came to the grocery store just to get a loaf of bread. Now they leaving with some hurt feelings. An extra dose of hurt feelings, and you gave it to them for free. Okay? But that's not the point we're making, all right? That's not the point I'm making. My point of this is, in that person that came with a loaf of bread, believe with some hurt feelings, is we got family members, we got loved ones who also do the same thing. We got to do the same thing. We got step parents, we got mother-in-law, father-in-law, moms and dads who sit there and try to tell you how to raise your darn kids. They always try to tell you how to raise your goddamn kids. Don't you? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Don't you got family members right now that come in your house and tell you, think they can raise your kids better than you can? They can't raise their own goddamn kids. They got 3 kids in jail, 1 on parole, another on probation, 2 kids that dropped out of high school, 1 can't read, the other one can't write, 1 can't count past 5, but they 16, but they telling you how to raise your kids and what you need to do. And how you need to do your kids. So you sitting there and telling like, yo, little Ricky was acting up in school, he's having little problems. So they tell you need to whip Ricky behind, because I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't take this, and you need to send him over my house. Whoa. Why would I send my kid to your house? Your kid can't read. Didn't you just tell me last week that Johnny can't read? Didn't you just tell me Melissa went to jail? And you gonna tell me how to raise my kids and what to do? Let me hang this phone up. I gotta hang this phone. I ain't talking to you no more. What I'm telling you is, those people who get on the phone telling somebody else how to raise their kids, when you send the supermarket, you're just supposed to be getting a loaf of bread, but you leave with some hurt feelings, aside hurt feelings, to go with your bread. Keep that same energy when you try to teach somebody and tell somebody and preach to somebody how to raise their kids when you're raising your own. Keep that same energy Keep that same energy to teaching your kids how to write, read and write, how to count. Teach that same energy when your kids showing up in school. You telling me whoop my kids behind, how about you go whoop your kids behind? Matter of fact, why don't you take some notes and go talk to your kids? Give your kids a hug. Give them a hug. That's what they really need. They just need a little bit of affection. Give them a hug. Maybe they need that behind whoop, because listen, I'm not advocating beating kids, but sometimes, listen, a kid just need a behind whooping, all right? Let's call it what it is. Let's speak facts here, people. Listen, I got 2 kids. You all know, I got 2 sons. My one son just turned 11. Other son 6. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like beating my kids. But sometimes, my kids just push me to the point I just want to punch them in the throat. Alright? I'm not gonna lie to you, people. Say I'm a bad parent, I don't care. We all get to that point where, they just get a little too much and you just gotta put your hands on your kids. You gotta put the paws on your kids. Every now and then. But my point is, when you telling me about what I need to do with my kids. Keep that same energy when you raising your kids. You need to take a strong, hard look at what you doing with your kids, how you raising your kids, the outcome of your kids currently or future, and you need to address that issue. So keep the same energy when you're dealing with your own kids. Then talk to me when you come back to me and you telling me little Vicky, little Johnny is on Iron Roll and they got a job at Google or Apple where they created the newest app that's going to be billions of dollars. When they surpass Bill Gates and Donald Trump, and I don't say Donald Trump because it's not hard to pass him, so that's a bad choice. He was in my mind. I meant to say Warren Buffett. Let's delete the Donald Trump part. Warren Buffett. When they talk about passing Warren Buffett, let's talk about when they become the new President Obama, and when they become that, then you can sit here and give me that advice. And that's not to say my children are on some huge pedestal. I'm just saying, listen, keep the same energy you feeding to me and telling me what I need to do with my kids when you're dealing and having conversation with show kids. Don't come to the grocery store feeling like you are entitled to tell me how to discipline my children because you didn't hear the first time I told my children not to ask for something. You didn't hear the second time because the first time I was in the car. You didn't hear the second time because you was already in the supermarket looking for the bread, standing there for the last 15 minutes trying to figure out what bread you wanted. So when I was in the parking lot telling my kids not to ask for nothing, you didn't hear it that time. The third time, when I was standing outside the door, I didn't see you. You were still in the bread aisle, so you didn't hear me. So don't comment into why I'm disciplining my kids the way I am. If it doesn't meet your standards, then cool. Mind your own damn business. Stop coming to my house trying to give me input and feedback on how I need to raise my kids when you don't know how to raise your own goddamn kids. So pardon my French for cussing, but this is how I feel right now. You need to keep that same energy when you having the conversation, when you discipline and dealing with your own kids. Keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying to y'all. Listen, we need to keep that same energy. Like I told you, let's recap. We talked about Black Lives Matter. We talked about, discipline our kids. We talk about starting our own business. We talk about respecting relationships. We're going to keep one more. We're going to do one more. All right? We're going to just do one more. No, two more. We're going to try to do two more. We're running out of time, but we're going to try to squeeze two more in. One, going to work, okay? Going to work. A lot of people talk stuff about what you shouldn't take and what you shouldn't tolerate when you go to work because you got the disrespectful co-worker. We all got those co-workers who think they're managers. We call them the snitches, the work snitches. You got the work snitches who sitting there, they can't do their work because they worry about you. And he's sitting there running into the boss, telling the boss everything you're not doing and everything you should be doing. Well, here's what I got to say to the work snitches. To all my work snitches out there watching my show right now, who have subscribed to my show, who keeps commenting and liking my show, I appreciate you. But I need you to do me a huge favor. Keep that same energy you spent into watching your coworkers do their job and saying run into the boss's office and go tell on your damn selves. Tell on what you haven't been doing. Tell on that you've been sitting there shopping online. Tell them that you've been sitting here watching movies online. You've been watching Good Girls episode, old season of Good Girls. You sitting there, what they call it, streaming at work. You sitting there binge watching at work. You sitting there doing all that work. And you watching me on top of watching Good Girls, binge watching Good Girls, on top of in between shopping, you watching me do my work. So why don't you keep that same energy and go into the boss's office and let them know that you haven't been keeping up to your productivity, you haven't been doing your work, you've been shopping, you've been binge watching, because I know you know that because you and watching me harder than you supposed to be doing your work. So make sure you keep that same energy and go into your boss's office and tell them what you have been doing. Keep that same energy, people. One last one. We got around time. One last one. Make it real quick. We deal with a lot of disrespected women, abuse, mental, physical abuse, verbal abuse to women. And this is to all my fellas out there. We got to chill with all that, man. That got to stop. We got to dead that like today. Today. Keep that same energy as when you talking to your mom, your sister, your grandparents, your aunt, your daughters, as when you treating and talking to another woman. Keep that same energy. I know sometimes women, they can get a little, their mouths and their tongues can turn into swords and cut your head off. I get it. But it takes a bigger, stronger man to know when to walk away than to feed into the negativity and energy. Walk away, step aside, because at the same time, remember this, you have a mother, you have a daughter, you have a sister, you have a grandmother, you have aunts. And you want them to be respected. You want them to be treated, even when they're not acting as such, acting respectful, not being queens that they were born to be and are. But what I need you to do is keep that same energy when you're dealing with these women, and keep that same level of respect for the women that are in your lives, because you want your women that you love to get and receive that same energy. I want to thank you for listening to another episode of Past and Present Podcast. I'm your host, Alan the Great. And before I go, I have to say this to you. Hit me up on Facebook, Past Present, Instagram, Alan the Great. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Where you need to keep it real with. What do you need to keep that energy with, people? What you wish somebody would do or don't do. Keep it real with me, people. Keep that energy when you comment on this show. Keep that same energy as you watching this show when you like, comment, subscribe. And until next time I see you, people, I only got one thing left to say to you, or maybe two. Stay tuned. Peace.